Hello, 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 chat. What I was thinking we could do today, my dear friends, is I really want to break down some Los Ratones. LEC has been absolutely crazy. I have a thesis question. What happened to Los Ratones? How did they suddenly become the GOATs? Is LEC trash? Are Los Ratones good? Maybe a little bit of both. Maybe a little bit of both. Let's jump into it. Bro, it's also crazy, the viewership difference. Like, this is insane. Like, look at this, okay? 5k viewers, 1k viewers, 1k viewers, 130k, 170k. Holy. This starts with Los Ratones versus Heretics. Let's go through all their wins. Let's go through in chronological order. So, their game against Heretics, pretty much, what's been very fun about Los Ratones is, okay, so this is the vibe I've been getting with Los Ratones. It's like, when first Los Ratones entered the league, felt like an ERL team against LEC teams. It was hopeless. There was nothing there. And then I feel like as Los Ratones scrimmed more and they got more and more comfortable, two things happened. One, I think Nemesis got into his own. What I mean by that is just that now he finally is kind of the mid laner that people have been hyping him up to be, and he's actually gapping in pretty much all their games. And the second thing is I feel like they finally found the formula that they used in ERLs for so long, which is even when the game looks really rough, like in EU, we are so bad at ending games. We are so bad at ending games. It just is what it is, right? People throw left and right. And I also think Crowny Caitlyn. Crowny's been getting Caitlyn pretty much every single game, right? Actually, this game he had Yunara, they banned Caitlyn. But he got Caitlyn 3 games in a row. And Crowny's been looking really comfortable on the Caitlyn. So that's draft-wise, I feel like they kind of found Mundo, Caitlyn. If you find a formula that works and you can keep running back to that, it makes it so much easier to build up confidence and develop from that foundation. And I'm also so glad they dropped the Corki. Fuck Corki, bro. Fuck Corki. So let's start with this Team Heretics Los Ratones game. So first of all, they're playing Caitlyn Braum into Aphelios Nautilus in bot lane, which is really a hard winning lane for Caitlyn Braum. The only thing is it's hard winning, but you can't punish as much as like a Caitlyn Karma or a Caitlyn Lux or something like that because you don't have the range support. So while Nautilus can never really hook in, it's still like Caitlyn Braum are going to get a lead. They're not going to completely Astrofist the Aphelios like you might do in a different matchup when you're playing this Caitlyn into Aphelios. But still, it doesn't mean that they're going to get pushed bot. And then Saren and Nemesis having a lot of trades in mid lane. And overall, the early game, there wasn't really too much happening. I mean, Velia does an attempt to gank mid here, but, you know, like, there's not really anything. For me, the biggest weakness I've seen of Los Ratones thus far is Velia and Boss. At least those are the two ones that make the most like mistakes. I also think Reckless still doesn't do what I would want the support to do in a lot of cases. He plays too much like a carry. He's always on mid waves, always eating CS, eating XP, which we'll watch later on as well. But I do think that like that's a big reason why they've been falling behind. It's usually like Velia goes for some invade or he goes for some play that he can't go for, and then Boss was getting solo killed every game, but in their last 2 games has not been getting solo killed. As we continue watching here, they're continuing to trade on bot lane. I like Reckless here. I like that I think Crowny here is playing way too far back. I'm not sure why he's playing this far back. I think this is a classic ADC mistake. I've done this a lot as well. But you're tunnel visioning here on the minions because you're like, oh, I don't want minion aggro. So that's why he's clicking up to try to drop the minion aggro. But that means that now Stand and Ice can actually hook onto Reckless. So if Crowny was a little bit walking more like this, walking more towards Reckless to drop the minion aggro, then they can still keep up this pressure and keep fighting here. So now, even though it's still a good fight for LR, it could have been better if Crowny was a little bit closer. And then he gets the trap though, and he gets a lot of damage onto Stand, but Ice gets to trade it back pretty equally with Crowny here. And they crash the wave. Pretty much just like kind of ping-ponging of waves in the early game and some trades happening bot, but you would want a bigger CS lead ideally as Caitlyn Braum in this laning phase when you're playing into this Aphelios Nautilus. But this was a nice, really nice play here onto ice. The only thing here is I don't like how Reckless plays it at all. I don't understand why Reckless doesn't do W into Q insta. Like, he does W, and he should just Q right now, right? It's Qs right now. Then Ice has to use Cleanse at least, maybe Flash as well. But instead he goes for the auto attack, and then the Q, which is the minion, and now Ice doesn't have to use it. So this was really awkward, and then they end up just like, yeah, they didn't get the play that they really wanted to. I think you can definitely tell that LR's clear weakness is early game. So that's where teams should be looking to punish and trying to have them winning matchups, and that way they can snowball the game and actually, you know, hopefully not throw the game. But then LR just catching bot lane here, trying to farm, Belly farming topside. Much really going on. And this was a pretty chill early game. Where boss got solo killed. I know boss got solo killed once this game, but I don't remember where it was. Oh, I think it was Kernel. Oh no, he flashes here. Wait a minute. He lives here. Oh, he dies here. Oh, he's dead. Classic. Well, classic. I thought he lived here. Well, that's just a classic, right? That's just a mouse classic. But then they get the Drake. I think one thing that I've been really happy with Los Ratones is their Drake control. Like every single game, they've gotten either first or second Drake, and they're always like, that was something they did really well in ERLs as well. They just have a really high priority on dragons, and dragons are fucking OP, man. Like every single game you play, the two things that matter is gold lead and Drakes, right? But if you're the team with dragons and you're behind in gold, then it's really hard for the enemy team to end because they need to play Nash because they can't just play for soul. And if you're the team winning and you have Drakes, then you don't need to care about Nash so much because you can just play for soul. And whenever you don't need to play for Nash to win the game, it's so much easier to win the game because Nash is just, it's so easy to throw around Nash, especially now with how much it reduces your resistances and makes everything difficult. Yeah. Well, let's talk about this play in mid lane here. It starts off with Reckless and Nemesis flashing forward, gets the root onto Saren. Here, Velia fucks up. On Mundo, you always want to do auto attack plus E, because it's like auto reset, right? But Velia just does E. He doesn't kill Saren. A little bit of, felt like nerfs this one a little bit, because it's like, should be a pretty easy kill to do auto E insta. And then he ends up dying as well because he ults a little bit too late. And this was like, the start of this game, it felt like Los Ratones were gonna go 0-5, you know? I think was I even casting this game? Kato was talking a lot about how important are dragons. Yeah, I think they place a really high importance on dragons, and it just makes the game really easy and always winnable. It's usually when one team gets soul, that's in my eyes when the game becomes like, I mean, this applies to your games as well, chat. In your elo as well. The thing is, if you think about it this way, the best way I've heard it explained, I think this was Coach Rogue, I really like how he explained it, is that gold is always temporary. You can always throw gold. But if you get soul, it's permanent. You can't throw the soul. So the soul is always going to give you an advantage, regardless of the gold. So the one team that gets soul just is always going to be on a back, like on a better footing. Because even if both teams then get to 6 items, then the soul should be the breaking point, right? Do you think LR being 4-4 is a sign of LR being good or LEC being shit? I think it's a bit of both. I'm very surprised. Okay, so I said on Saturday that I thought LR was making playoffs. And I did think they could make playoffs, but I didn't think they would make playoffs by beating MKOI and G2. I was thinking, okay, they might lose to MKOI and G2, or maybe they win against one of them. But then they play SK and they play one other team that I thought they could easily beat. I don't remember who it was. But now, suddenly, I mean, I think we're going to get to the G2 game later. But that G2 draft was maybe the worst draft I've seen competitive. I'm not sure. It's definitely one of the worst drafts I've ever seen. Just absolutely zero synergy. But we'll talk about that later. Let's get a little bit more into the team fights of this game. I mean, this play here is just like overforced. Because this play from Stand, I don't know what Stand is thinking. Because he knows Crowny is here, right? Crowny is hitting a ward. And he knows that Ice is bot. but he's still looking for this play onto Nemesis. But then it's a 4v3, so Sten just ends up dying. So this is a really nice move by Crowny. In general, I think Crowny's one of his strengths is how proactive he is on the map and how much he moves. And now, oh yeah, bro, I wish I could turn it, like, why is there no audio, bro? Like, I couldn't believe my eyes. What the f was this? This was the most random shit ever. I wish I could ask Crowny about this. I think he misclicked, or I don't know. Because why would he ulti? It doesn't... I don't know. I'm not sure what he was thinking there. Also, speaking of really fucking random plays, no, I need to bring this up. I don't know if you guys were watching my cast yesterday. I was fucking mind blown yesterday. Completely mind blown. Which game was it? This game? Yeah, it was this game, I think. Yeah, it was this game. It was this game. Okay. So, okay. So, look at this. Lot dies on top.
Things going well.
And I didn't see what happened.
No, on the internet, what damage you take?
Because I was like not that focused, right? And Lot just dies, and I'm like,
I still think every mage is pretty fake damage. No?
okay. So we and Dracos are arguing that mages are fake damage. I still stick to my take. Mages have so much fake damage. Like he talked about how Ezreal damage is fake. How is Azir damage is also fake? Azir is just poking. Like how can Ezreal damage be fake, but then Azir damage is not fake? Doesn't make sense.
He's in trouble here. Looks like he's probably dead here. Vault Breaker to punt him back. Yeah, he's taking their sweet time. They don't even need to use the ulti. That is disastrous for Lot and GX.
And that's the trouble with the Rumble, as you talked about earlier, Dracos. You really want to be the one to find the lead, but all it takes for the Scion is one good E into ulti, and he's locked down with the Vi as well. Really smart pathing there by Linces. I'm actually curious how he got into that spot.
So that's when I see, I'm like, wait a minute, Linces lane ganked, but Lot had a ward. How did Linces get this lane ganked off? So I'm like, wait, can we get a replay?
That, there was a ward placed from Lot, but he still ends up falling to the gank. So I'm wondering how Linces was able to avoid that ward without being spotted. Maybe we could get a replay and do some crazy observation and see what happened. We'll find out.
Oh,
Okay. So he did get spotted and he still died. Okay, well.
We solved the mystery.
Bro, what? Are you kidding me? He didn't even sweep. He just walked over the ward. Oh my god, I can't. That's not serious. Like, what?
That was my highlight from yesterday.
Okay. We're all gonna take a deep breath.
I love my region. I love my region. Okay. Okay, back to Team Heretics and Los Ratones here. So, after the crowning mistake, he ends up falling. And Team Heretics has a pretty good gold lead. But, crucially, I think I always like this trade. I've been thinking, so this is an age-old discussion at this point, right? Age-old discussion. Grubs versus Dragon. Maybe in LCK, LPL, Grubs is favored. I'm not sure, right? Could be. But in EU, I always like the Drake. I think I always like the Drake. It's just teams are, one, really bad at playing around side lanes, so they don't get big leads with the Grubs. And it always just comes down to a soul fight. Nearly always. So if you get the first Drake, you get to start stacking those dragons up. Then you can set yourself up for success with the second Drake. You're gonna be really chilling. And now you can see LR taking the spot here. This is very similar to the previous play that we talked about. You see that Ice is not rotating because he's getting scared of Caitlyn and Braum. It's a little bit blocked by the YouTube player here. But you see he's getting scared off here, so he doesn't end up rotating. While Crowny goes for the full rotation, and therefore LR gets full control. I think this is kind of a mistake from Ice, to be honest. How does Ice not rotate fully here? Ice is just trolling. What is he doing? Like, Ice should just move fully with Stand and take the vision. Because now he's just like stuck here, and now he can't move anymore because he didn't move with Stand. So I'd say this is a mistake from Ice, because now you can see that Brownie ends up moving fully. Ice can't move because the Ice has no vision, right? Like, you have to remember, Reckless and Crownie are not showing. Ice does not see anything that's in these bushes. He doesn't want to walk up. So therefore, now Los Ratones are 4 versus 3. They get full control, aka free Drake. So big mistake from Ice here. Los Ratones capitalize, and they force them out. And then they get the Drake for free because Stand is chunked. And free Drake is a bit of an overstatement because Team Heretics still try to contest, but you can see it's fucked. Like, Team Heretics, they want to contest, but Ice is super late. Crownie's dropping the bot wave. I like this from Crownie a lot, that he's just says this bot wave. He doesn't care about it. And just plays with the team, plays for the Dragon. It does mean that Ice gets a bit of a CS lead, but at the end of the day, I think trading a bit of CS for Dragon is always going to be worth it. And Nemesis is also dropping the mid wave. So in this case, it's both of the laners of Team Heretics are prioritizing pushing the waves in, while Los Ratones are like, fuck the waves, we'll get the Drake, and we'll take that. You know, and I think this is a trade that, like, we talked about the grubs earlier, right? If Team Heretics was the team with 1 Drake, and Los Ratones had 3 grubs and no Drake, then I don't like this trade that much. I don't like the fact that they're dropping minions for a Drake. Because getting just 1 Drake doesn't feel that impactful. But if they get 2 Drakes, then suddenly, boo, okay, now we're talking. You know, now we're talking.
We'll see how they can play this right here.
He doesn't have Smite? Oh yeah, Jace's Smite's on cooldown. I'm guessing he smited the Raptors? No, he smited something. When did he smite? He just smited on an earlier camp. Man, I don't think Los Ratones knew he didn't have Smite, but even then, as long as Jace can't actually auto-attack or like Q the Drake, Velia should always get the Smite, because Velia can do auto-E Smite and secure it with Doctamundo. He does miss the Smite though. He gets it to what, 100 HP? 50 HP. It's not perfectly timed. But they get Stand Flash, they get the Drake. And now with 2 Drakes, it's like, yeah, I mean, they're still getting fisted a little bit, don't get me wrong, right? It's a 2k gold lead in the top side. But 2 Dragons and LEC. 2 Dragons and LEC. Yeah, I think I talked about this bit on cast. So here, after the Drake, Reckless goes and holds the bot wave instead of basing to match Stand tempo. This one is hard because as an ADC, I love what Reckless is doing, right? So what Reckless is going to do now is hold the bot wave. Why is it nice? It's really nice because Crownie will lose no minutes, right? That's nice. If he doesn't hold the wave, Crownie will lose a few minutes to tower. So what Reckless does here is nice for Crownie, but I think it's not good because what we'll see now is that Reckless is super delayed on the map. So Reckless needs the base. One thing with supports is you always look at their wards, and that's how you determine if they need the base. So Reckless has no wards, he 100% needs the base. But now you'll see, because he holds the wave, he's gonna end up basing now. Now it's kind of fucked. Because now, if Reckless bases, then either Velia needs to just sit under tower with Crownie and make sure that enemy bot lane doesn't dive him, or Crownie just needs to drop bot tower. Which is like, we held the wave for Crownie so he doesn't lose CS, but because we held the wave and now we need the base, now Crownie will lose more CS and maybe even bot tower. And it's like, yeah, now Velia is here to try to give some relief, but can't actually do anything. Like, it's not bad what Velia is doing, and it's nice. Like, what Velia and Nemesis are doing right now is really needed for bot lane. Like, you might see this and think, oh, Velia and Nemesis went bot lane, but nothing happened. But what actually happened, if we take it from Ice and Sten's POV, is they want to continue canceling Reckless. They want to hit this bot tower. They want to continue pressuring, because Reckless needs the base, and Ice is stronger than Crownie, right? And Sten is stronger than Reckless because he's just coming off the base. So doing this alleviates a lot of that pressure from Crownie and Reckless, allows Reckless the base, and makes the map playable for Los Ratones. However, because of this, Velia showed on bot lane, which makes it really easy for then Sheo to go and dive top. So this is a result of the bot lane hover and off of Reckless not basing. Please don't give only 20 gold, who cares? Waves are always more important. But that... What the fuck is this butterfly effect? That's how League works. That's how League works. That's the beauty of League. One thing leads to another, always. That's how you should think in solo queue as well, chat. If you make a mistake, it will lead to other mistakes. And that's why if you improve your play, you will see that the whole game looks so much better. Whole game looks so much better. That also has TP, he didn't need to die. Okay, you're gonna tell me Boss didn't need to die. I mean, Boss could have lived. It's hard for Boss to live though. It's really hard. Because think of it from Boss POV. We can argue, okay. Boss could live. It's possible for Boss to live here. I'm not gonna say it's impossible for Boss to live. But Boss doesn't know exactly where Jace is, right? So he kind of needs to guess when Jace will come and then have based by the time Jace is come. Because if he guesses it too early, well then he's just kind of wasting his TP. And if he guesses it too late, which it's easy to guess it too late because Jace here is really fast. Like already now, if Baus goes and bases right after this wave that he's clearing under tower right now, I don't think he can base here, right? Because Jace is gonna take the big plant. Like already now it's too late, he can't base. So he needed to base after this wave that he's clearing right now. This is the wave that he needs to base on. Maybe it's even earlier actually. Like it's so early. It's really hard for Boss to know when to base here. I think it's not, this one is not an easy, most top laners will die. This is a very hard maneuver. He needs to he needs to be thinking about basing right now and then TPing back. And maybe even like not catching this wave. Because as soon as value shows bot here, that's when he's vulnerable. But it's not easy. It's not easy. And he should be, but he should know that Jace is here, so he should not be recalling like this. Because if he's not recalling, then maybe he can dodge the JCQ, and then maybe he can outplay the dive. That's the only thing. I also think he didn't flash the Jace Q damage, right? Oh, he didn't flash the Jace Q damage. Maybe if he flashed the Jace Q damage. Oh, this sidestep from Nemesis is really nice. Very nice. Really good play in general. I've been really liking Nemesis. Now's your time to win streak in NLC, Jack? Exactly. You're right. I'm right. And then after they kill mid lane, so what ends up happening here is, normally here, Los Ratones would just keep hitting mid tower, right? Because when you kill the enemy mid laner, getting to hit mid tower is super valuable. If you can get mid tower early, it just means that now Ryze can push deeper, always roam, and once Caitlyn goes mid, she can always get deeper prio. Really nice. But because Trace and TP is mid, LR are like, okay, we can't siege mid lane here. What can we do instead? And what I really like here is that a lot of other players, they would probably just think about basing, but Nemesis recognizes, wait a minute, I'm Ryze with Ghost still running, and I have ulti, and enemy bot is playing really far up. This is probably Crowny calling as well. Just having watched their scrims a lot, I know that Crowny's really vocal. So Crowny's like, wait, this is legal? We have mid prio, and they're sieging up against Ryze. So then they move bot here, and I think this was misplayed a little bit. Let me see. I mean, Ryze flash, Ice flash cleanses. Reckless misses the ulti. I think Ice never dies here though, even if Reckless ulti hits. But they kill stand. So it's a really good play, right? And then Baus, smart here as well, opens mid instead of opening top so that he protects mid lane while Ryze is moving bot. Some said they had bad pathing here. Yeah, they should go aggro pathing. They should go aggro pathing. I think maybe if they go aggro pathing, they can actually kill them. Like, they should never take safe pathing here. It makes no sense. Because it's just slower, right? And you get a worse angle if you come from there. I do think if they take aggro pathing, yeah, I could see Ice dying if they take aggro pathing. They land some skill shots onto Ice as well. Because you see how much slower this is, right? If they were Ryze ulting from here to here, yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Still though, really good proactivity plays. That means that Crowny now can hit bot tower as well. He gets some plates. Sheo is able to pick up the Herald. Sheo's 2k gold. I mean, the top side is really the worry for this team, I think. But Baus has been playing much better in their last two games. Been a lot better. The Sten looks for a bot play here. Forces Baus's ulti. And then here, Ice is doing the crowning, honestly. Walking up on mid wave. Like, what's crucial, what's important here is that enemy team, Team Heretics, just showed Nautilus on bot side, right? So Los Ratones know that Nautilus is not in the area. So even if Jace is here, like let's say Jace is right here, it's still always going to be a 2 versus 3, aka beneficial for Los Ratones. So this is a really good play by them, just punishing the fact that Nautilus made that bot play, and the fact that Ice has no sums. They die, it gives a shutdown. They get to hit mid tower as well, they get full tower. That's really when this game started turning, I think. With those two plays, the bot play and this play, that was when this game really became winnable. Watch the next team fights because there's not much happening up until that point. Oh yeah, I talked about this on cast. Build is so stupid. Because why are you buying collector? Like, you should know what you're gonna build. I think we can all agree with this, right? Okay, my first take that we can all agree with is that when you load into game, you should know what you're gonna build that game, right? We can all agree with that. So if you know that you're most likely gonna have to go LDR second because they have 3 tanks, 3 champions that are gonna buy a lot of armor and HP, why are we going collector? Why? Oh, Storm Racer. Doesn't make any sense. Collector, good against low armor, right? That's when it gives the most damage. LDR, good against high armor. If I see both of those items together, then I'm thinking to myself, wait, that don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. So I really just like that. I also think it's a great Storm Racer game for Aphelios because he has so many things to dodge, so much stuff to kite. Like Mundo Qs, Ryze Qs, Braum Qs, Caitlyn Qs, Bled Qs. Like there's so much stuff. Mobility this game is so useful. He already doesn't have the Ghost because he went Cleanse, which makes sense, right? He's up against Ryze with a point-and-click CC and he's up against Braum. But when you then don't have that mobility from the Ghost, go for Storm Racer, bro. Okay, and then let's watch this little team fight on mid here. So it starts off with Team Heretics putting the Herald. Sten hooks in onto Baus. And then Nemesis ulting into the side. Reckless is in the front line. They get a really good CC chain onto Tracyn. And they get a trap as well. Tracyn ends up living with the flash E. But still, this is like, they're just reaping the rewards of their earlier efforts. Because if this was 0 for 0, right? 0 kills for either side, then it would be whatever. But because they have 2 dragons and they can pick up the 3rd one, enemy team is sweating right now. I can tell you, enemy team Heretics right now are fucking sweating. They're fucking scared. And you can see that with how they desperately still want to contest, even when they're obviously way too late. Like, by the time Tracyn's TP is finished, the Drake is already gone. Yet they still want to contest so bad. What Team Heretics should do here is just push in mid and get mid tower. That's what they should do. Because this is like desperation. That's what happens when the enemy team has Drakes. You get desperate. You get really scared. You think to yourself, okay, if we give them 3 Drakes, all they need is a Smite flip and they can get Soul. You don't want to do that. Really don't want to do that. I do like though that Team Heretics now, they're getting mid tower and they're taking the blue buff. But still, it's like the game is in a really nice state from Los Ratones. Really nice state. So you might think to yourself, it's Chemtech Soul, it's kind of whatever. Normally I would agree with you. It's a pretty good Chemtech Soul game. Ryze, Mundo, Bled, Braum. Caitlyn is not too happy with the Chemtech Soul, but it's a good Chemtech Soul game. Would you rather have Hextech? Yes. Would you rather have Mounter? Yes.
There are times when it's okay, but if you think that you will have so much armor that you buy LDR second, then it doesn't make any sense to buy it.
But have you felt the dopamine of buying a serrated trick on your first recall?
Yes. Yeah, obviously, it feels good. But
Ooh, this play from Nemesis was really nice. It's how much time he buys here, kites it into the alcove. Jao misses the Q, he flashes and dodges the And it's just doing so much damage. Sidesteps the Cassie ulti as well, and then by now, Team Heretics are so chunked. And this is where Nemesis really put on the carry pants. And then Crown is able to pick up this kill. Huge mid game this game. Huge mid gap. Then again, mid tower as well. Nemesis is by far their best player. And I'm not gonna lie, I mean, I was skeptical on Nemesis. You know, I think Nemesis is good. But when people are telling me, like, Nemesis has been really hyped. I think by far the most hyped member of LR. And I wasn't fully buying into the hype. But, you know what? I'm pretty fucking bought in, bro. I'm pretty fucking bought in. He's looking like one of the best midlaners in the league. Especially, like, you gotta remember, like, he's playing with Velia. And with all due respect to Velia, I think Velia is looking like maybe the worst jungler in the league. Right? Maybe. Yeah. I think so. And when you're playing mid lane with a weaker jungler, usually it's really hard for the mid laner to shine with a weaker jungler. Mid lane and jungle are so intertwined that it's always, they always play together, they always make plays together, and mid laners usually always get ahead when their junglers play around them well, and it's rare that they get ahead that much solo. But Nemesis is just making plays on his own, getting leads in a side lane, and pressuring so much more in team fights.
That is a Cassio Aphelios. If he's got the white gun and Cassio shows up, that objective will die. Doesn't have a white gun.
Yeah, he doesn't have crazy good guns for the Nash. And Faust will be up in 20 seconds.
Here Team Heretics starts the Nash, but Ice doesn't have red-white. I think he cycles into it here. But it's pretty slow Nash. I don't know why they decided to randomly start Nash here. I think it's because Nemesis was bot with no TP. Yeah. Oh, and Boss is dead. I forgot Boss died, actually. I mean, this is not a bad Nash start. I think if this was last season, they one-shot this Nash. But this season, the Nash is really tanky. And then there's a lot of mis-executions here from Team Heretics. So we can watch this. So what should happen here is as Tracing TP's in. First of all, couldn't Tracing TP a bit earlier? I think Tracing TP's at a fine time. Yeah, Tracing TP's at a fine time. But Tracing has two, very crucial there, he has two spells to make Mundo not enter the pit, right? W, he has ulti, right? So he needs to use one of them to get Mundo passive. He needs to use his W to get Mundo passive. And then he needs to ulti to get Mundo out. Let's see what he does. Does use the Q3, but then for some reason he holds the W so long, he misses it. And then he also just doesn't, like, and then he tries to ulti, I mean, he doesn't even ulti him. I mean, he just plays this really bad. Like, I don't know. He should just Q3 and then ulti him right now, or instant use W and hit the W. But also you can just ulti him right now. I don't know why he doesn't just ulti him right now, because then it's like, there's no out counterplay for Velia. Like, maybe they don't know that Velia doesn't have flash, right? So you should just ulti him, and then Velia can never enter the pit, and they get it for free. But yeah, really nice smite by Velia, and then Nemesis kills Nautilus, and now they just run them down. Nemesis is doing so much damage. Velia is kiting Tracing. Did they kill him? Oh no, he has crazy plantage. It was a nice escape, but still he gave Nash, so. Ooh, what? Wow, that was a perfect smite. 1390. I mean, that was a good fucking smite. Honestly, that's a good fucking smite. I don't think you can't flame Sheo for this. You can't flame Sheo for this. There's only one person you need to flame, and it's Tracing. You need to flame Tracing for that. Like, can't.
90. He gets that objective.
You can see catharsis for Yamato and the rest of the staff behind the scenes. Oh, I super paid before. I can't help.
And then 5 seconds to soul. Let's see the setup. Boss has a flank.
Keep smack talking.
I think one of the best things about Boss, in my opinion, is his team fighting and how good he is at like flanking, but understanding the max range that he can play. I think we'll see it well in this fight, if I remember this fight correctly. But what I want to just watch is the Boss. Okay, maybe this is the fight where he just runs it down and dies. I don't remember actually. I think maybe he just dies here. Okay, no, he does not die. I think we'll see at this fight that he zones really well. Let's see. I'm pretty sure it's this fight.
Los Ratones, I mean, the pressure here around Seoul, because they haven't been able to use their Baron to get any objectives on the map, but it has given them a bit of control here.
Yeah, they're getting a bit poked. Browning's a bit zoned.
A little bit zoned up here. Tries to enter with the
Has
steam.
to be really careful on the flank. If Tracy gets on top of him, the fight's gonna fall apart.
What is this? Awesome Yamato memes? What's this? We have to destroy the Nexus with patience and with the saliva of an elephant? I don't even know, bro. What, 5 corn ones and 1 meat one? Reckless picks Nami for the 20th time because she's sexy. Hadral 4 eyes. Bro. I don't fucking know what that even means. Okay, let's watch this fight.
Pretty quickly. Ice breaks the Mundo passive, though you're not sure if you can walk and pick up the canister.
Forced to enter through both here. This is really bad.
Okay, yes, this is the fight. This is the fight. Okay, let's just watch Baus, okay? We just watch Baus. Just watch Baus and how he pressures here.
Line setup, but
Because you need to think, we're all, most of us in the chat are probably ADC mains, right? Imagine how stressful it feels to have Baus in the backline like this. It feels so stressful, bro. So stressful. And you see how he plays this angle. This is full Baus comfort zone. Full Baus comfort zone. Because he knows, like, if Sten hooks, he's just gonna dash the hook. But then if Sten has no hook, it allows the rest of LR to play a lot more aggressive. So with Baus pressuring like this, he's making it so much harder for Team Heretics to play. And the worst top laner here will just be standing right here, and it doesn't do anything. It makes it so easy for Team Heretics to play, because they just need to click forward.
might come down to another 50-50. Lots of poke onto Nemesis. Already that blinking health bar. Objective getting
And you see now, Ice is like trying to look for a good ulti here.
Ice ready to go.
But he doesn't get it, and then Velia has a really good smite.
Getting lower and lower. Ice waiting over the walls. Ice ready to go. Ulti there, but Valiant gets the soul. Los Ratones immediately.
And now you can see, by Baus doing this, he's like splitting up the fight, making it really chaotic for Team Heretics to play, because they can't all turn on one side at once. Baus is 2v1, and Ice and Saren, they want to turn on the 4, but then now this is a 3v4. You'll see, even though Saren gets a crazy ulti, his support and jungle are not there. Like, he gets an ulti onto fucking Brownie and Nemesis. Normally this would be huge, but because Baus is causing havoc in the back line, the rest of Team Heretics can't follow. Ice is also not in position. Everything is fucked. And LR just run them down and win the game.
But Valiant and Boss are on top of him. Holding on to a bit of hope now as Nemesis takes out Jayo. Brownie keeping it going. Los Ratones taking the fight. Ice goes down. It's the end.
And they don't end the game here, but I don't think we need to watch much more, and we can watch the next team fight. There's one more team fight on the end. It's not even really a team fight. I think we can call this game here. This game is just tough start for the top side of Los Ratones, and then really good carry from Nemesis. Kind of Nemesis 1v9, one-man army. And then some good team fighting from Los Ratones and some good pressure.
Yeah, and I do like the Los